Hi YouTube, VidHeadache5 here. We hear a lot about states' rights, and that uh, we hear that being used as a justification for states to do basically whatever they want to, even if it's unfair. Now the thing is, a state has the right to do certain things with outside of the reach of the federal government because the 10th Amendment says that the powers that are not given to the federal government are given to the states and the people. Now, however, there is a lot of things that the states cannot do, such as Amendment 2 in 1992 was passed that did not allow for gay and lesbian people to experience relief from discriminatory practices. That was called unprecedented in our jurisprudence, and to allow it would be just just unbelievable, unmistakably wrong. So basically, when New York legalized marriage between gay and lesbian couples, Rick Santorum said a state does not have the ability to redefine marriage. However, they had the ability to, quote, define it in their constitutions. But when a constitutional bar is overcome, or a statute or something like that, the state has no right to do that. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the state does have unmitigated rights to do whatever it wants to do. Why do we have courts in the first place? If states' rights is something where, in fact, they are immune from challenges to their laws. Now, a court always has to look at the motivation behind a law when upholding or striking it down, because that is vital to its either success being upheld or the reason that it is struck down. One thing that really is alarming to me is the Supreme Court deciding to take a facial challenge to the section, or I don't know if it's a facial challenge. There's something, I believe that there's something different about a facial challenge. But the Voter Rights Act of 1965 has a section in it where it allows for pre-clearance of any voter changes. And what happens is, let's say North Carolina, or no, let's go even further than that. Mississippi has a history of discrimination. Alabama has a history of discrimination. South Carolina and Texas also have a history of discrimination. Now, what brings Texas into the view of Section 5 is simply because it has a significant amount of individuals who do not speak English, but English is the only ballot materials that they have. So in 2006, it was amended to cover that as we started to see significant amounts of individuals where that category applies to them. So now Texas, Alabama, and quite a few other states with a history of discrimination are trying their case is going to be heard that Section 5 is unconstitutional because it binds their hands. Now, this it binds their hands with regard to election law. Also, redistricting, and anytime there was something where votes are anything tied to voting. So even their districts, when Texas redrew their districts in 2010, they went to court. Often every 10 years when they redistrict, somebody's going to be in power. Somebody's not going to like their maps, and many of them end up in court. West Virginia's ended up in court. I think Virginia's ended up in court. But either way, there's a lot behind that. But you can look it up. You can look it up. Supreme Court redistricting cases. But the reason why this disturbs me that they would take that case is because if Section 5 gets overturned, there is no rational basis to overturn it. They can create one. The five conservative justices may create one. Also, 4 of them are white males who do not have they probably don't know what discrimination is. They know it in theory, but they don't know it in fact. Justice Sotomayor, the first Hispanic justice, knows that. Justice Keegan knows discrimination from gender and from our point of gender. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she knows that because she's Jewish and she looks like a little Jewish grandma. Oh my blah blah blah. But anyway, those 3 justices would know what it would be to be discriminated against on just a basis that where you have no control over, like with race and sexual orientation. But the whole thing is that I'm really concerned that our Supreme Court would take that case. It looks like they may think that racism is something that's behind us, but with this re-election of President Obama, we see that that is not true. We see that what was bubbling under is now bubbling over, and we understand that we got to do something about this. Like I can't picture a world where the legislature can do anything at once, but also in redistricting cases, population has to be there. Population has to be accounted for, but I'm really just having a rough time thinking about why someone other than a racist or someone who just wants to rig the electorate, what rational basis is there to strike it down? States' rights do not and are not immune from jurisprudence, because states can abuse their power, and they have, and we've seen it happen. We've seen it quite constantly. So I just when that ruling comes down, there's just a lot for me, especially as a person who wants to register everybody to vote, who wants to make sure that voting rights are protected, who wants to see independent redistricting. I don't want it to be in favor of Democrats. I don't want it to be in favor of Republicans. I want it to be fair, because this country is built on fairness, level playing field, where if you work hard and you play by the rules, the same set of rules that Joe Blow and Donald Trump have, then you'll succeed. And now people are trying to push forth an aristocracy, and then aristocracy is here, then everybody else is down here. There's no middle class. The middle class is what grows the economy. Unfortunately, Grover Norquist didn't take a page from Grover from Sesame Street about sharing. So anyway, I'll see you later, YouTube. What are your thoughts here? Voter ID laws have been struck down due to Section 5, which is a great thing, because most of them are enacted with discriminatory leanings. They are, even though people would want to say that they're protecting the integrity of elections, but they won't look at the voter jimmying the vote or trying to voter disenfranchisement as something that's real and is happening. They're not looking at what happened in Ohio or Florida, or Virginia, or California, even, where a couple found twice in their garbage voter registrations of Democrats. Those people who are talking about voter ID as if it's going to protect the integrity of elections never look at that. They don't care about that. All they care about is disenfranchising voters. And when I say that it is a racist strategy to do so, they look at the race card, and more of these people are white, because what? They don't know discrimination. They don't know. Period. Dot. End of story. That's just it. They make it seem as if I'm playing the race card when there's nothing there. But Doug Price said that early voting should not accommodate the urban vote. Paul Ryan just said the urban vote lost him. Bill O'Reilly, Rush Limbaugh, Mitt Romney all said that the only reason Obama got elected is because they got gifts. Look, your policy sucked. And if the Voter Rights Act Section 5 is overturned, more people like this will get voted for, because the electorate can be scaled down to whatever they want, and minorities will have no protections. That is my fear, that people like Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney will get elected because of an unfair system that's rigged against them. That's what Section 5 has kind of been looking to prevent, is jimmying of the electorate so that a certain group of people can vote only. And this attack on voter rights, you know what? The Supreme Court's going to have to smack that down entirely. Just this whole attack on the voters so that minorities won't be able to elect the candidates that more mirror their experience, and we'll fight for that. See you later, YouTube. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.